Get ready for high-octane action straight from Miami. Lando Norris has just stunned the competition, snatching pole position for the sprint race and proving McLaren is a force to be reckoned with against the previously dominant Mercedes. He beat out championship leader Kimi Antonelli, with Oscar Piastri right behind him in third, all while Ferrari's Charles Leclerc takes fourth. Mercedes, who have swept every race and qualifying this season, are feeling the pressure like never before. After a break, the competition is fierce on the streets around Hard Rock Stadium. Norris, trailing Antonelli in the standings, is back in fighting form where he secured his first Grand Prix victory last year. Will this be his comeback moment? Stick around.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
But the drama doesn't stop there. Mercedes' grip on the season has been dramatically challenged. Kimi Antonelli, after an impressive lap, couldn't quite hold onto pole, showing the shifts in power. Even the reigning champion, Max Verstappen, in his upgraded Red Bull, found himself battling for a top spot, starting in fifth. And what about Lewis Hamilton? He's only managing seventh for Ferrari. The upgrades brought by teams like Ferrari and McLaren are clearly making a difference. We saw a nail-biting sprint qualifying session where drivers were on standby, then a chaotic start with yellow flags compromising early runs. Lance Stroll had an early excursion, and we saw surprising eliminations throughout the sessions, including from Red Bull and Haas. It was a true test of nerve and precision under pressure, especially when the soft tires came out for SQ3. And to top it all off, whether concerns are looming for Sunday's main race, heavy rain and thunderstorms are forecast, with the FIA considering adjustments to the schedule. Will lightning stop the show? You won't want to miss a second of this unpredictable weekend. Subscribe now and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the action. Miami is buzzing as Lando Norris seizes pole position for the Formula One sprint race, signaling a significant shift in the season's dynamic. The McLaren driver delivered a stunning performance, edging out Mercedes championship leader Kimi Antonelli by a mere 0.222 seconds. This marks a dramatic break from Mercedes' earlier dominance, having won every Grand Prix and qualifying session this year. While Ferrari and McLaren have introduced substantial upgrades to challenge the Silver Arrows, Mercedes has opted for more conservative tweaks. Norris, who missed the Chinese Grand Prix due to mechanical issues and trails Antonelli by 47 points, expressed his delight, calling it a perfect way to start the weekend, and highlighting his comfort with the car and the Miami track, where he secured his maiden Grand Prix victory in 2024. Oscar Piastri will start third in the second McLaren, ahead of Ferrari's Charles Leclerc in fourth. Red Bull's Max Verstappen, who has struggled with qualifying this season, managed fifth place on the grid with his upgraded car, while Mercedes' George Russell will start sixth. Lewis Hamilton could only secure seventh for Ferrari. Looking ahead, teams and organizers are monitoring weather forecasts closely, with heavy rain and thunderstorms predicted for Sunday's main Grand Prix, potentially leading to adjustments in the race schedule in accordance with local lightning safety protocols. Lando Norris has snatched pole position for the Miami Grand Prix sprint race, marking the first non-Mercedes front row start of the season. The McLaren driver edged out Kimi Antonelli, who secured a surprising second place. Norris's teammate, Oscar Piastri, will line up third, rounding out a strong showing for the walking-based outfit. Further details and highlights are expected shortly. Lando Norris has sensationally claimed pole position for the Formula One Miami Grand Prix sprint qualifying, signaling a potential shift in the competitive hierarchy with McLaren and Ferrari demonstrating significant pace, potentially ahead of Mercedes. Following a single practice session that left the paddock buzzing with questions about the true order, Charles Leclerc and Ferrari initially topped the timesheets. However, it was Norris who ultimately delivered a blistering lap to secure the coveted pole. The session was not without its drama, beginning with a peculiar lack of urgency from drivers at the pit lane exit, before Oscar Piastri eventually broke the deadlock. Lance Stroll's excursion at the final corner triggered double-waved yellows, compromising early laps for Norris and Piastri, though Leclerc managed to capitalize. In sprint qualifying, too, the battle intensified with drivers eager to secure spots in the final shootout. Kimi Antonelli and George Russell led the early charge before the Ferraris took command. The McLarens, initially off the pace, showed their true potential with Norris closing the gap. Eliminations in SQ2 included Oliver Bearman, Nico Hülkenberg, Carlos Sainz, and Alex Albon. The decisive SQ3 saw the mandatory switch to soft tires, a challenge for Mercedes, who had dominated pole positions thus far in 2026. In a one-lap shootout under immense pressure, Norris emerged on top, with Antonelli lining up alongside him on the front row. Leclerc secured second, followed by Verstappen and Russell. The final standings saw Norris leading the charge, with Antonelli, Piastri, Leclerc, and Verstappen rounding out the top five. In a dramatic turn of events at the Miami Grand Prix, Lando Norris has secured pole position for the sprint race, narrowly edging out rising star Andrea Antonelli. The McLaren driver delivered a blistering performance on Friday, May 1, 2026, clocking in at 23:03 UK time to claim the top spot on the grid. The qualifying session was a fierce contest, with Norris and the young sensation Antonelli trading blows throughout. Ultimately, Norris's experience and precision proved decisive, leaving Antonelli to settle for a front-row start. Fans can anticipate an electrifying sprint race as these two talents go head-to-head, with the Miami International Autodrome providing a vibrant backdrop for this high-stakes showdown.